Slav Polinski Homes with Caldwell Banker here in Downers Grove, and here is another episode of Spotlight on Local Business. This is where we give the general public the opportunity to meet some of our business owners and the services they provide. Today, more than ever, it's important to support local, shop local, as these businesses and business owners are vital part of our communities, and we definitely want to keep them around. It helps our communities and neighborhoods flourish. Today we are with Kevin Beasley with FotoHouze. A little background about Kevin is that he supplies just a wide array of printing solutions for photographers and for the general public. I had personally had a metal print done not too long ago, and I have it hung up in my office, and every time people walk by they just comment on how stunning it looks. And right now I'm going to let Kevin give a little background about himself and his business. So Kevin?
Thank you, Slav. Kevin Beasley, and I've been in the photographic arena for the better part of 30 years. For those who may remember Wolf Camera, I was a store manager, then a district manager in both the Atlanta market, the Chicago market, and then back to Atlanta for the better part of 23 years. So I'm very familiar with cameras, photography obviously, and all the services that photography can utilize, especially in the digital arena, and going back to the film and slide arena as well. So here in my shop, which I've had for the better part of 4.5 years, we try to be a thinking pot for photographers who are neophytes and the novices. They want to come in and learn about photography, about film, obviously digital, but also be a resource for those who have slides and negatives that thought that they would never be able to do anything else with those. And then of course the digital printing and everything that comes with that, whether it be printing on traditional photographic paper, which is a wet lap, or the newer things that you can do, metal prints, wood, photo books. So that's that in kind of a succinct little paragraph there. That's pretty much everything we do. But we also expand out to video as well. So.
Oh, fantastic. A discussion you and I had not too long ago was the resurgence of people going back into film photography.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that and what you're experiencing in that market, and what you offer in that as well.
Oh, okay, thank you. It has been surprising, the amount of photographers who are digital shooters, but who are now going back to shooting film, whether it be your professional films like portraits and the hectares, and also slides, which is very shocking. I'm doing roughly about 40 to 50 rolls a week, which is extremely more than I thought we would be doing. And the shocking thing is it's the millennials who are bringing it back. It's the whole novelty of having to wait for the image and to actually think about the shot, plan it out, and not just spray with. Unfortunately, that's what digital allows us to do.
Right.
But to actually have to think it out and plan it out, and it's growing. This is just an amazing thing. So here, people come in with their film. I develop it, I scan it for those who want to take advantage of today's programs, Lightroom, Photoshop. But some just want to print it. Some will scan it at home because they have scanners. But there's also a faction of younger shooters who, being honest, these cameras, they weren't around when these cameras were made. So
sure.
They don't know about them. They ask questions, and I kind of pride myself in being a place that they know that they can get the answer and go forward.
Yep, I find that fascinating. And our son is actually using my old Canon AE1 film camera.
Exactly.
And he was excited when I told him that Kevin actually develops films, because that is a challenge for people shooting film today, is finding somebody who actually still does develop and then print. So you offered the full developing and printing service. Now, the question I have is, what can customers expect coming into FotoHouze that they wouldn't going into your local Osco or Walgreens to have their photos printed?
Fair enough. I would say the number one thing would be my experience. Being in the business for as long as I've been in the business, and in different phases, I have been a photographer, professional photographer, for a number of decades. I feel that I offer the ability to talk about situational photography that they wouldn't necessarily get at, not to pick on Walgreens, but that's the biggest apple on the tree, so to speak, that they wouldn't get if they went to the counter at Walgreens. If the lighting is optimal, most cameras can produce a decent image. But unfortunately, life doesn't provide us with the best scenario all the time. So it's in those instances where they need to have someone who has the experience who can say, hey, if you did this, or you needed to do this, or you can use this lens. And I think that's where the value of FotoHouze comes in, from me being able to offer my customers something. And then secondly, which happens quite frequently, I'll have a customer here in the store, and another customer will come in, and then they start a conversation. Mm-hmm. And the next thing you know, they feel that they can come here, and if they can't necessarily talk to me right away, there'll be someone else here who can offer some advice. And that was really the master plan, if you will, for having this place, so that this would be a resource for all photographers. And so that kind of plays out throughout the weeks.
Fantastic. And I really think I agree, it's crucial when you're dealing with something precious as your own memories, that it's worth coming to an expert in the field, rather than someone who, again, nothing against these stores, but they handle film developing or film printing, and then they also stock shelves. So they really don't have any knowledge behind how to get things done right to make them look as beautiful as possible.
I would agree with that. I again, to echo your words, nothing against them, but it's kind of hard to have someone answer questions about your images. Mm-hmm. There are plenty of people who are taking images that are maybe moments that may never present themselves again.
Right, exactly.
Relatives who this might be the last time you see them, trips that this may be the only time you get to go, and it's really not fair to expect someone who just mans that particular counter when there's a call out, there's someone at the photo counter, but meanwhile they've been in the cosmetic department.
Sure, exactly.
Pharmacy. So that's where I think FotoHouze really shines, quite honestly.
Fantastic. So you said you've been in Downers Grove location for 4 years now.
Correct.
Why did you choose Downers Grove, and what experience have you had being in this town?
It's kind of a quick story about that. So when I was a district manager for Wolf Camera, we actually had a store right down the street.
Okay.
In the Giordano's location. Mm-hmm. And my family and I, we moved back to Illinois, and quite honestly, the Downers Grove downtown area is totally different now than it once was, 15, 16 years ago. And I was very, very pleasantly surprised with all the eateries, the foot traffic. I don't remember ever seeing anybody kind of walk by, mm-hmm. 15, 16 years ago. And there's a resurgence of younger families. You see it every day. There's moms, complete families walking by with little ones, toddlers. So that's my target base. And we live in Downers as well, and our neighbors are fantastic. We couldn't write better neighbors. And all my customers are, there's a Midwestern spirit about people who are very kind, very accepting. So we decided Downers for a place to live, and then it doesn't hurt the fact that I only live 2 miles from my store.
And that does make it convenient.
It does.
We've lived in Downers Grove for 25 years, and I couldn't imagine a different community to live in. The one thing I noticed about you, which I've always admired, is that you embrace all of the events of downtown Downers Grove. So whatever brings traffic into our Downers Grove area, whether it be the Fine Arts Fest, Grove Fest, Friday night car shows, you adjust your hours to whatever the crowd is. So if the crowd is out there, you will stay open past your business hours just to be accessible to the public, which I think is just a very smart business move today. So I applaud you for that.
Well, I appreciate that. For me, as a new business, it was essential to be in front of whenever a crowd was available, especially the Friday night car show.
Right.
I don't know if you could put a dollar amount on that type of advertising or what it would have cost me. So to not be available, even if no one buys anything, which for me, being a new business, the first year, a couple of people came in, but there was always somebody came in the next week. Oh, I was here or Friday night.
Sure.
I stuck my head in, and the next thing you know, they bring in a tremendous order. So just being in front of, it's a numbers game. Being in front of as many people as I possibly can works out for the business. Now, I understand there's some businesses that have been here, and I get that, but for a new business, it was critical for me to be here.
Fantastic. So, Kevin, if you can let the public know your address and any other contact information, including website.
Excellent, excellent. So we're located in downtown Downers. I'm at 5155 Main Street in Downers Grove. My phone number here is 331-251-6967, and website is FotoHouze. It's odd spelling, FotoHouze.com. That's it.
All right, fantastic. Pleasure meeting you today, Kevin, and hearing a little bit about you and your business. So come on out to FotoHouze for all your printing and film developing needs. Have a fantastic day.
Thank you very much.
All right.